as a thumbnail. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about some of the events that transpired in the last couple of days. Some involving a certain space cowboy. And I just wanted to come on here and give my side of the story. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I had just woken up. Normal morning routine. I made my bed. I went in for a cold shower. I got some breakfast. And after that, I went for my pre-workout shake. And I started my morning workout. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run. And as I was running, I came up with some advice that I think a lot of people would have liked. And some advice that I think would put Socrates and Aristotle to shame. And it was, just do it, man. Just do it. It's genius, man. And I did what anybody would do. I grabbed my camera and I started filming. And I started filming myself jog. And let me tell you, just do it, man. Like, I wanted to put that up on a t-shirt, do some merch, but my lawyer said that wasn't really a good idea. And anyway, I was jogging, and as I was filming, this complete stranger takes his lawnmower and goes right into the road I was jogging on, and he hits me, and I come crashing down to the ground, and I'm all fluttered. I don't know what to do, so I yell at him. You know, he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm out here jogging, and you have the nerve to say I'm in the wrong. What's up with that?" And he's saying, "Oh, it's a private property. I didn't see a sign." And let me remind you, while I was talking to him, I had my camera on him the whole time, so I had it recorded. And he starts coming at me, and he starts charging at me. And let me tell you, my heart dropped, because I didn't know what was going back down, but luckily he saw that I was recording and he stopped. So, whew, man, I would have kicked his butt, but so we kind of brushed it off, you know. We kind of was like, "Watch where you're going," you know. He told me to fuck off. I told him to fuck off, and I went on my way. I finished my run. I ended up doing another lap around his house. And he actually invited me into his house. He felt sorry. He's like, "Dude, come in, you know, come in for a beer or something." You know, I don't drink beer, but he was I don't know what he was gonna do. And as the cautious adult that I was, I followed him. And we went to his house. And we talked for a bit. Turns out we kind of have a lot in common, actually. And so I had to use the bathroom. And I went down into his basement, because I didn't know where his bathroom was. I was looking around, I was trying to find it, and I come across this TV with an open tab of X-Hamster. And I was like, okay, you know. Now, I don't know in other planets how it is, but in Planet Fitness, my home planet, if you go to a homie's house and they have an open tab, it is it is perfectly acceptable to help yourself do it. And that's what I did. I sat down, and that's what I did, you know? It was CBT. Now, mind you, I did not know what CBT was. I thought CBT stood for Curvaceous Belgian Titties. Now, it took me a little bit to realize how wrong I was, but it had been about 2 hours since I previously did the do, so I figured I might as well finish. It was at around that moment that space cowboy came into the room and started yelling at me. he had a metal pipe with some kind of nail sticking out. He smacked the TV, broke it, and, you know, we kind of got into a bit of an argument after there. And I was like, I felt bad. You know, I apologized, and he accepted, and we kind of moved on. After there, we talked for a bit again. I went my way into his fridge to kind of curb my post-nut hunger. And I saw this Arby's beef sandwich. I was like, okay, now, I don't know how it is on other planets, but in Planet Fitness, my home planet, if you go to a homie's house and there's a sandwich in the fridge, it is perfectly acceptable to help yourself to the sandwich. And so I did. And it was about 20 minutes after there, we were talking out on his porch, and I brought up, like, hey, you know, a nice place. Also, you know, you had a sandwich in there. I went and I helped myself to it. And he started getting really angry. He started yelling at me. I tried to explain, like, hey, chill out, dude. You know, it's all cool. And he tells me to get the fuck off of out of his property. And, you know, I did. You know, I felt like I was being unfairly treated in this situation, but I respected. I went and left, and I went to get my protein shake. I have previously bought a protein shake in the fridge, and I realized he drank it. It was completely empty now. I don't know how it is in other planets, but in Planet Fitness, the planet I'm from, if you drink another man's protein, that's how people get shot. But I was calm. I was very collected. I went in and I confronted him in a very calm manner. No swearing. None of that. And he got so defensive. He got very defensive. He started raising his voice. He started cussing at me. He started making some very unfounded claims about the length of my shaft. And he continued. And it was in that moment, I was looking through his agitated stare and the daggers in his eyes, and I started focusing on his facial features and his posture, and I realized it was very close to the woman I had sex with a few hours ago. But then it dawned on me, the girl that I fucked a few hours before I met him was his mom. Small world, right? And at that point, anything this man said to me didn't matter, because I fucked his mom. So I was very professional at that point. I was very calm. I didn't rub it in his face or anything. I was calm. He told me to leave, and like any respectful adult, I did. And I never came back. That's about it. That's about how I remember this story going. Yeah. And, you know, that's about it. And you know, the thing about the protein shake is I snuck that in through Canada. That took a lot of money. And that was money that I could have gone to pay my rent. And speaking of paying the rent, are you tired of people stealing your protein shake? I know I am. That's why you gotta get yourself the Protein Shop Canteen with specially designed tasers to zap any unwanted and unsuspecting protein shake thieves. Link is in the description, guys. Just do it. Just do it, man. Just do it. I know where you live. Just do it. I know where you live, Daniel.